Hi again guys, and welcome to another straight line performance build for Forza Horizon 3, and this particular vehicle is one of the barn find cars. One of my favourite cars in the game, I have to say. Although the Hummer is by far my most used vehicle, I think visually this vehicle is probably my favourite car in the game. I love cars with this kind of style, that vintage, woody, surfer dude kind of look. I think this is a fantastic looking machine. Now, as far as the build on this particular car, it's pretty powerful, as it would have to be to get good performance, considering aerodynamics aren't exactly this car's strong point. Now, as far as the build, there are some points of variation. Now, if you want this car as is, or this tune, more specifically, as is on your vehicle, you can get it on my storefront. I've had a huge amount of downloads for this build. It's a very popular one, and so if you want it, you can find it using the keywords in the video description. And of course, downloads are appreciated. But if you want to maybe change some stuff, change the rims, maybe not have the surfboard on the roof, stuff like that, then of course this is the video for you. Now, as far as parts, I would recommend an engine conversion, and I would actually recommend the Viper engine conversion, the V10, not the V8 from the Mustang, and none of the others either. I would recommend that Viper conversion. It gives you the most power. As far as the drivetrain swap, of course, I recommend all-wheel drive for all vehicles where possible, but again, it's down to personal preference. For the rest, basically install everything that improves the car. I would recommend the roll cage. You can see it through the windows there. But again, you don't have to if you don't want to. I personally don't like the look of the roll cage on some cars, but I fit it because it improves the acceleration in particular. Now, as far as the tuning aspect of the build, which is of course the way to unlock the potential of the car, you want gear ratios of 3.2 on the final drive, then for the individual gears 2.9, 2, 1.5, 1.17, 0.95 and 0.78. And as you can see, that gives you pretty strong performance for a vehicle of its age. 2.7 to 60, 4.4 to 100, and a pretty decent 216 miles per hour flat out, which isn't the quickest of cars in the game, of course, but for an old school, basically hot rod type vehicle, that's pretty good. Now, as far as the rest of the upgrades, of course it's open to interpretation. I've left the camber and tone neutral, as I always do. As far as the caster angle, it depends what you want. I've mentioned this before. If you want the car to be stiffer, heavier, then take that higher. If you want it to be more manoeuvrable, but also a bit more tail-happy, then take that lower. So it's down to what you want. As far as anti-roll, we've rounded those off to 31 and 21. Springs to 216 and 161 with the lowest possible ride height. As far as dampers, we've got those on 15, 12, 7 and 6. Aero doesn't apply, of course. And as far as the diff, I would recommend 100% on acceleration, 0 on deceleration, and again, as I often do, a centre split of 80% in favour of the rear. That gives you a pretty nice balance of performance, handling, and also driftability and off-roading. So, as I said, you can get this, as with all of my tunes, and a ton of tunes that aren't even on YouTube yet, on my storefront. And as always, supporting my storefront is very much appreciated, but whether you decide to download it or just follow this tune, obviously I hope you find it fun and competitive. And if you'd like to keep up with other tunes like this that are still to come or that we've already done, you can subscribe down below or check out the playlist at the end of this video. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.